Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, let's have some comedy this hour. Freeman Gosden, Charles Correll, an episode of Amos-n-Nandy. This episode goes back to December 30th, 1951, as Amos and Andy are house wreckers, not home wreckers, house wreckers.
Andy, you know what that music say?
Yes, Amos, that music say, good health to all from Rexall.
The Amos and Andy Show, written by Joe Connolly and Bob Mosier, featuring Ernestine Wade, Johnny Lee, Amanda Randolph, Fred Clark, Leo Cleary, Reese Williams, Jeff Alexander's music, yours truly, Harlow Wilcox, and starring radio's all-time favorites, Freeman Gosden and Charles Correll, Amos and Andy.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Freeman Gosden. This evening, our sponsors, the 10,000 independent Rexall druggists and the Rexall Drug Company, have asked me to extend to you their warm and sincere wishes for a new year full of happiness and prosperity. They are extremely grateful for the patronage you have given them during 1951. And to that, my partner, Charles Correll, and I, and every member of our show add our sincere thanks for the friendly way you have received us into your homes every Sunday evening. And we wish you a very happy New Year.
Well, during the holidays, we all like to have our families around us to share the festive occasion. And the Kingfish's wife, Sapphire, has invited her mother to be with them over New Year's. Right now, supper is over, and the little family group, Sapphire, the Kingfish, and Mama, are relaxing in the living room.
Oh, Mama, it's so nice to have you here with us again.
Yes, daughter. And I'm so happy I'm going to see the new year in with you and George.
Yeah, well, Mama, dear, the thing I'd like to know is just how much of the New Year's you planning on seeing in with us?
What you driving at?
Well, nothing, but I remember last year you dropped over to see the New Year in, and you not only see it in the New Year, but you see it in Washington's birthday, St. Patrick's Day, and the 4th of July. As I recall, I think I see your big fat shadow around on Groundhog's Day, too.
George, is you implying that Mama ain't welcome to spend the New Year with us?
Oh, of course not, Sapphire, but now that you brung it up, I wouldn't mind seeing her and the last chorus of Old Lang Syne fade away at the same time.
You know, son-in-law, dear, you reminds me of the circus that went broke.
Now, why is that?
Nothing under the big top but wind.
Now, take it easy there, Mama. Last time you cackled like that, your bridge popped out on the coffee table.
Well, daughter, as long as he's going to take this attitude, why don't you tell the big fat head what you're going to tell him?
You know, Mama, I think you're right.
I can see trouble coming here. Now, wait a minute. What is all this? What kind of an egg is you two vultures hatching now?
George, me and Mama talked it over, and this is final. We're 5 months behind in the rent. We got bills from all over. It's the holidays. So I'm giving you exactly 2 days to get a job, or I'm leaving you for good.
2 days? Now, wait a minute, Sapphire.
George, I'm sick and tired of you not working. And if you don't get a job this time, I'm through with you forever. You hear that, you big loafer?
Yeah, you hear that, you no good, stupid, lazy loafer.
Listen, Mama, just let's have the insult straight. Don't start throwing in no chasers now.
George, I mean what I say. You got exactly 2 days to get a job.
2 days? Now, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, nothing. What kind of a man are you? You ain't got no ambition, no self-respect. You ain't nothing but a low-down, spineless weasel. Come on, Mama, we'll go in the bedroom.
Oh, me. Why did I ever marry that woman? Could I have wanted to stay out of the Spanish-American War that bad? Nothing around here but nastiness and... Yeah?
Stevens, I'm glad I found you home.
Oh. Mr. Landlord, yes, sir. You come up here to wish us a Happy New Year or something?
On the contrary, I came up here to throw you out in the street.
You come up here, you mean to say that you,
Look, Stevens, after I throw you out, I'm going to heave your furniture out. Then I'm going to throw your bags and your clothes after you.
Yeah, you're really going for it in a big way, ain't you?
Stevens, I'm tired of your stalling. You're 5 months in arrears on your rent.
Yeah, well, I admit that I pretty well reared up on the stuff, but...
I'm going away over the weekend. When I get back, if there isn't at least 1 month's rent in my mailbox, out you go.
Yeah, well, I'll do something about it, but it ain't right to threaten me like this. Someday I'll get even.
You'll what?
I say, I'll do it this evening. That's what I say.
That's better. Now, I wrote my new address on this piece of paper here. 2121 Riverside Drive.
Yeah.
And the money better be there when I get back.
Oh, yes, I'll send it to you. And by the way, Mr. Landlord, would you mind turning on the gas, turn our gas back on? It's been shut off now for a week.
No, no. It'll be just like you to kill yourself and cheat me out of my rent.
Yes, Andy, I've been sitting here in the lodge hall looking through the classified ads here.
So you're going to take a job, huh, Kingfish? This is going to be quite a shock to your friends.
Well...
Tell me this, you're going to use your own name or take the job under nom de prune?
Oh, and I'm just going to close my eyes and plunge into the employment with both feet. Yeah, got a lot of jobs here on the help wanted. Look at that. Look at all these jobs in the paper.
Yeah, look at all them jobs there. Let me see this. Look at this one. Opportunity for ambitious young men to handle fast-moving item. Openings in all fields for solo sitters and can varnishers.
And that's solicitors and canvassers.
Oh. Yeah, well, you know, you better skip that, Kingfish. You don't know nothing about running them big machines.
You know, Andy, you got to watch it. These people that write these help-wanted ads is pretty tricky. Now, one time I answered an ad that say, short hours, good pay, chance for advancement in pleasant suburban surroundings. The job turned out to be digging graves over Newark. That's what it was.
Well, you know, you ought to go see one of these politicians, get one of them government jobs.
Yeah, government jobs. That's the thing, all right. On them jobs, you can go to sleep and know you was protected.
You can, huh?
Yeah, and if you get in right, Andy, you know the only thing that can wake you up is a change of administration, I tell you.
Yeah, but I guess all them good jobs is took.
Yeah, wait a minute. Now, here's something here. I was kind of mulling over this one. I done mulled this one pretty good. Look here. It say, wanted 2 men to learn building trade. Apply to Carter Construction Company. Look, Andy, what do you say? You and me go down there. It wouldn't hurt us to learn the construction business.
Yeah, well, I'll go with you, but, you know, I has always been afraid of work myself after what happened to my uncle. He used to repair the big furnaces in office buildings.
Uh-huh.
He was working inside a firebox one day when he decided to take a little nap. Nobody knowed he was in there, and they started up the furnace.
Holy mackerel.
Oh, yeah, it was a sad thing, all right. To this day, our family has never known whether or not we buried the right clinker.
Does you think that you can use us, Mr. Carter?
Well, I think I could use you 2 men on a remodeling job. We're doing over a house, and the preliminary wrecking has to be done. You 2 might go over there and get started on tearing down the porch.
Yes, sir. We'll de-porch the thing for you.
Oh, yes, sir. We'll work hard, too.
Yes, well, you can get the necessary tools from the foreman. I'll write the address out here for you.
Yeah.
It's 666 Amsterdam Avenue. It's a frame house. There you are.
666 Amsterdam. Thank you, sir. I'll put it in my pocket, sir.
Yeah, get on it the first thing in the morning and be sure you do a good job over there.
Oh, don't worry about us, mister. When it comes to wrecking, you won't find 2 bigger wrecks than we is.
No. Well, Andy, old boy, here it is, 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I guess we better get over and start wrecking the porch on that house like Mr. Carter said. I don't remember the address.
Neither do I, but I got the address right here in my pocket. Here it is on a slip of paper here.
You got 2 slips of paper there.
Yeah, well, one of them got the house we are supposed to wreck, and the other one got the landlord's address on it.
Well, don't get it mixed up.
Oh, don't be stupid, Andy. Nobody can make a mistake like that. 666 Amsterdam Avenue, that's the landlord's address. And we go over and rip the porch off of 2121 Riverside Drive. Come on.
Yeah, nobody can make that mistake. December 30th, 1951, Amos and Andy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. So the Kingfish has gotten the 2 addresses messed up. He's found out that he has the address of his landlord and the address of a house they're supposed to take the porch off up. Something tells me there's going to be wrecked here, something more than just a porch. December 30th, 1951, Amos and Andy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Give me a hand here, Kingfish. I'm having trouble ripping this porch railing off.
Yeah, let me get this crowbar under there one. There we are.
Say, Kingfish, I was just thinking, didn't that Mr. Carter say this house over here on Riverside Drive was supposed to be a frame house?
Yeah, well, this is a frame house.
Yeah, maybe it is, but this is the brickiest frame house I done ever seen.
Listen, Andy, the house got good windows in it.
Yeah, I know.
And the windows made out of wood.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, the windows is framed with brick, ain't they?
Sure.
So there you is. It's a frame house.
Oh, yeah.
We got the right address all right on the paper, 2121 Riverside Drive.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the right house, stupid. We got to rip this porch off, though. Come on, let's get going.
Okay. Say, Kingfish, don't you think we ought to take the roof off the porch first?
No, Andy. We'll get the roof after we take the pillars down. Now, get behind there, boy. I got this pillar loose, and we both gonna pull on it.
Yeah, okay. I got a grip on it, here.
All right, me too. We both pull together now. Pull. Pull away.
Now.
Pull away. Pull away. Pull away. Stop pulling. See there, Andy? The roof come right down all right, didn't it?
Yeah, it come down nice, all right, but, was it supposed to take that bay window with it?
Oh, don't worry about it, Andy. Look here, boy. Look what time it is. Almost 5 o'clock, quitting time.
It is, huh?
Yeah, we can finish this up in the morning.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Kingfish. I'll meet you back here at 9 o'clock. Only one thing, though, Kingfish. I still worried about us knocking off that bay window. That ain't exactly part of the porch.
Oh, don't give it a second thought, Andy. In the wrecking business, that's what's known as overcutting. Yeah, it's just like in the medical profession. When it takes out an appendix, ain't nobody gonna hold it against the doctor if, in the heat of the operation, he whacks off a couple of slices of liver. Now, you can't... Oh, me, well, 8:45. I'll let Andy get over there and do the heavy work this morning, and then I'll wander over to that place later. It ain't working out bad. Sapphire ain't gonna leave me when you find out I got a job. I'm not gonna have money for the landlord and... hello, George. Stevens speaking.
This is Mr. Carter over at the Carter Construction Company.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Carter. How's you this morning?
See here, what are you and Brown trying to pull? Why didn't you show up at that porch wrecking job yesterday?
Yeah, well, you see, excuse me, you say you want us to slow up on that porch wrecking job?
I said, why didn't you show up on that porch wrecking job?
Well, Miss Carter, excuse me, we got a bad disconnection here.
Can't you hear what I'm saying?
I can hear what you're saying, but I know you ain't saying what I was hearing.
Hello?
Listen, Miss Carter, the phone's all messed up here. I tell you what, you hang up and I'll call you right back.
All right. It's Chester 67423.
How you like that? Man say one thing into the phone and come out another. You'd think they'd have the bugs out of these things by now.
Hello?
This is Mr. Stevens again, Mr. Carter.
Oh, well, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, Mr. Carter, coming in fine.
Good.
Now, what was that you want to tell me?
I want to know why you and Brown didn't show up to wreck that porch yesterday.
Mr. Carter, I think this time I better hang up and then you call me back.
Look, Stevens, what's going on here? You sound confused.
I sound confused. You was the one that's confused. We spent the whole day yesterday wrecking the porch over at 2121 Riverside Drive.
2121 Riverside Drive? That's fine.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
That's just great.
Oh, we thought it was a nice job we done.
The porch you were supposed to wreck was at 666 Amsterdam Avenue.
Miss Carter, is you there?
Yes.
Listen, Miss Carter, this time I gonna hang up unless don't nobody call nobody back. Holy mackerel. How could we have went to the wrong address? The only other address I had in my pocket was the land. Oh, me. We done tore the porch off the landlord's house. And after me saying that I'd get even with him. Holy mackerel. He not only gonna bounce me out of my apartment, but he gonna dribble me right down to the jail. That's what he's gonna do.
That's right, officer. I'm phoning from my house right now. I just got home.
You mean to say some vandals practically tore the porch off your house? Have you any idea who it was?
Not in the least. I'd certainly like to get my hands on the person responsible for this. I tell you, Just a minute, officer. A car stopping in front of my house. A man's getting out with some tools. A fat fellow with a derby. He's got a crowbar in his hand. Whoever it was has come back.
Well, it's probably some kind of a nut. You keep him there and humor him a bit, and we'll send a squad car right over.
Fine. Now let me get out and see what's going on.
Well, thank you, Amos. Thank you very much for driving me over here.
Yeah, well, Andy, from the looks of that porch over there, you and the Kingfish done a good job yesterday, all right?
Oh, yeah. You're going to meet me over here. I'll see you later, Amos.
All right, Andy. So long, boy.
Man just come out of the house. Maybe the construction company sent him over here. Good morning, mister. You going to help me wreck the porch this morning?
No. So you're the one who wrecked the porch.
Oh, sure.
You just came over here and decided to wreck it all by yourself?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. Mr. Carter told me to do it.
Oh, Mr. Carter told you?
Yes.
I suppose this Mr. Carter is a little man with pink wings that no one can see but you.
No, sir. He's a big fellow that smokes a pipe and wears a checkered vest. Anybody can see him if they makes an appointment. Hey, look at that, mister. A police car done stopped in front of the house. And the two policemen is coming this way. Say, you ain't no trouble, is you, mister?
I'm in no trouble.
Wonder what they want.
Is this him?
This is him.
All right, buddy. Just come along with us.
With you?
Yes, it's all right with Mr. Carter.
Oh, well, that's different, sure. Where are we going?
We're taking a little trip to the station house.
Oh, you got a porch down there you want ripped off, too?
All right, Mac. Take him away. All right.
The whole story, Calhoun. We got the porches mixed up. We were supposed to wreck the stoop on Amsterdam Avenue, but instead we tore down the stoop on Riverside Drive.
Uh-huh.
Now, what can I do about Andy, who is in jail?
Now, just a minute, Kingfish. Let's just consider one stoop at a time.
Look, Calhoun, if the landlord ever finds out that I was involved in this thing, he gonna think I was trying to get even with him, and he gonna throw the book at me. Now, Amos is down now getting Andy out of jail on bail. But this case come up tomorrow, and Andy's sure to tell the whole story to the judge.
Well, now, Kingfish, in a case like this, at all costs, you must maintain the vegetable equilibrium.
Vegetable equilibrium.
Yeah, don't let Andy spill the beans.
Yeah, I guess you're right there, Calhoun. I gotta find some way, though, to keep that boy Andy from involving me in this here mess. Now, how I gonna do that? How I gonna keep Andy big mouth shut?
Well, now, you know, it's too bad that you and Andy ain't gangsters, Kingfish, because when one gangster gets arrested, he never squeals on the other one.
We may have a piggy pretty fast. December 30th, 1951, Amos and Andy here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Amos and Andy, December 30th, 1951.
Well, Andy only been in jail overnight, and gangsters don't squeal. Calhoun?
Huh?
I got it. I think I'm gonna have a little talk with hardened criminal Brown.
Yeah, you gotta convince him that he ought to keep his mouth shut. But you better act fast, Kingfish.
Yeah, I'm gonna act fast.
You know, I got a lawyer friend, and his client was in the death house last week, sentenced to the electric chair. And the lawyer tried to get him out on a habeas corpus.
Habeas corpus, huh?
Yeah, first he went to the mayor, and then he went to the lieutenant governor, then he went to the governor, and then he went to the Supreme Court.
Well, how'd they make out?
Not so good. By the time he got to habeas, his client was a corpus.
Well, Andy, here you is. Here's the lodge hall, boy.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, Amos, for bailing me out of jail.
Oh, you're welcome, man. I was glad to come down and do it.
Yeah, well, I hope I could do the same for you sometime.
Yeah, well, this is a terrible thing, though, when you stop and think of it. When I got your telephone call, I didn't know. Well, I was just sorry for you, spending 12 hours in jail. And not only that, now you got to go before the judge tomorrow morning, ain't you?
Oh, yeah, but that ain't nothing. Kingfish will straighten that all out. Well, see you later. So long, Amos.
So long.
Oh, boy. I'll bet that Kingfish been worried sick about me. Hi, Kingfish. Got to talk to you.
Well, how's you, Andy? What's new?
What's new? Kingfish, listen here. I got arrested, spent 12 hours in jail, and my case comes up tomorrow.
Well, I think it was funny that I didn't see you around, Andy.
Wait a minute, Jerry. What is you talking about? I got arrested for tearing up that porch. But I guess everything gonna be all right, though, when I tell the judge about Mr. Carter and you and me working for him and all that business.
Oh, you was decided to flip your lip when you goes before the judge, huh? You was done decided to turn squealer, violate the code of the underworld.
The code of the underworld?
Certainly, Andy. You know what the gangsters does to squealers? Puts them in a barrel of cement and throws them in the Hudson River.
They always do that?
Oh, yeah, Andy. That river really getting jammed up, too. Why, when that tide is out, you can walk on stool pigeons from here to Jersey City.
But listen here, Kingfish, that code of the underworld,
Yeah.
that's for crooks and gangsters. I ain't no gangster.
Oh, you ain't, huh? Well, now let's analyze the situation here and see if you is or not. Where was you for the past 12 hours? Now tell me that. Look me in the eye, though. Tell me where you was.
In jail.
All right. And when you was in jail, who was in the cell on one side of you?
Well, a criminal.
Right. Now, who was in the cell on the other side of you?
Another criminal. But that don't make me no criminal.
Listen, Andy, down on the farm, the only thing they put between two mules is another jackass or a load of hay. Well, believe me, boys, with that mills of yours, you don't look like no bale of hay to me.
Well, I don't care what you say now, even if I is a gangster. I'm going to tell the judge the truth.
Well, if you done made up your mind to squeal, that's it. But I sure hope you don't go like Legs O'Shaughnessy.
Legs O'Shaughnessy, what happened to him?
Well, he was innocent too, Andy, but he blabbed to the judge. The mob cut him down as he was leaving the courthouse. Submachine guns, Andy. Really filled him full of holes.
Really ventilated him, huh?
Oh, yeah. More holes in the boy than the piccolo. I remember there was a slight wind blowing at the funeral. And when they played Our Sweet Mystery of Life, O'Shaughnessy whistled right along with the organ.
Well, I'll tell you something, Kingfish. I don't want to end up in the string section at my own funeral. I guess the best thing for me to do is not to say nothing to nobody.
Yeah, Andy, you can't go against the code of the underworld. You got to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, of course I is. The only thing to do is go down there, keep your mouth shut, plead guilty, and take the rap. Oh, it's the only thing to do. Oh, you big man, boy.
This really goes to show you the dangers of employment. I take a job for the first time in 10 years, and 2 days later, I winds up a hardened criminal.
Come on, Andy. Walk with me up to my apartment.
Oh, me, Kingfish. What a day I had in court today. I pleaded guilty, and the judge done fined me $200. I sure glad I kept my mouth closed, though, and followed the code of the underworld.
Well, Andy, now that it's all over, boy, I got a little confession to make here.
Yes, huh?
Hey, you see, I done got the addresses mixed up, and that was my landlord's house that we done tore the porch off of.
What?
Yeah, well, I had to let you take the rap, Andy. I had to do it.
Kingfish, this is the dirtiest trick you done ever pulled.
Well, now, wait a minute, Andy. It ain't my fault that I was smart and you was a big dummy. Ain't no use to be mad.
Now, listen, Kingfish.
Now, wait a minute. Let's let bygone be bygone. Now, come on in the apartment, Andy, and I'll invite you to dinner just to show you there ain't no hard feeling.
Yeah, well, that's better. Okay.
Sapphire, dear, home.
Well, that's fine. You can take my bags down to the taxi. I'm leaving.
And she's leaving you for good this time, skinhead.
Yeah, but, honey...
George, you let me down. I told you if you didn't get a job in 2 days, I was leaving you for good. I could forgive you if you had at least tried.
Yeah, but, honey, I didn't let you down. I not only tried to get a job, but I did get a job with the Carter Construction Company. I worked for 2 days.
I don't believe it.
Oh, tell her, Andy. Tell her how I worked for 2 days with the Carter Construction Company.
Not me, Kingfish. I'm keeping my mouth shut. I still following the code of the underworld.
See, it works both ways. December 30th, 1951, Amos and Andy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Well, now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we go from Harlem to Wistful Vista, 79 to be precise, 79 Wistful Vista. Check in with Jim and Marion Jordan, better known as Fibber McGee and Molly. Fibber trying to revive his old vaudeville act for the New Year's Eve show, originally broadcast December 30th, 1953.
Every weekday at this time, NBC brings you Fibber, McGee, and Molly, transcribed. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Ralph Goodman and directed by Max Hutto. When the Wistful Vista Elks Club throws its big New Year's Eve show Thursday night, one of the star attractions will be Mr. McGee of 79 Wistful Vista in a revival of his famous, he claims, old vaudeville act. But like all great artists, he's having his troubles right now.
And I tried Kramer at the drugstore and even old man McDonald at the Third National Bank, Molly. Gee whiz, kiddo, I don't know what to do.
You still haven't found anybody brave enough to stand up on that stage with you and ask you, who was that lady I seen you with last night, huh?
No. I explained to him how it don't hurt him when I hit him over the head with this old felt hat so the joke gets a laugh. I even showed him.
You showed them that, did you?
Yeah, and that's when they all say they're too busy or they're going to be out of town or something.
Well, don't you worry, dear. You'll find somebody. Say, did you try more tubes?
More tubes? You think I'd do a class vaudeville act like I used to do with Fred Nittany? The guy that him and me used to do a vaudeville act together and got rave notices everywhere we played that if I hadn't lost my scrapbook, I'd show him to you with a no-talent, second-rate moron like more tubes.
He said no, too, huh?
Yeah. Doggone it. I got to have a straight man, Molly. I can't do this act alone. It's not that kind of act.
I know.
Takes two people to tell them jokes, you know. Like I showed you some samples of yesterday.
Yes, I remember. One fella says, what kind of vegetables do you grow in a beer garden? And the other fella says, stewed tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm not going to use that one. Everybody seems to know the answer before I finish the question. I'm putting in number 63 instead.
63? You mean you have your jokes numbered?
Oh, sure. We kept all our jokes numbered so we could find one in a hurry. Like in case one joke didn't go over good, I'd slap on a sailor hat and sing Anchors Away while Fred ran back in the dressing room and look up another one.
Oh, you thought of everything, didn't you? Look, dearie, I've got to run over to Monica Miller's and return her roaster. So if you're going to be around...
Hey, wait, before you go, let me read you a couple of these gags. Here, look. Here's one Fred and I used to open the act with. We'd come out in cowboy hats and I'd say to Fred, "Hi, dude, I hear you just got married." And he'd say, "That's right, Tex, but don't call me dude anymore." And I'd say, "Why not?" And he'd say, "'Cause I'm subdued now."
Oh, my. Very funny, dearie. Well, I'll see you later. Monica's waiting for me.
Yeah. If you thought that was funny, listen to this.
But, dearie...
This one will murder you. Listen. Why is a mother-in-law...
Saved by the bell. I'm going out the back way, dearie. You see who it is. Be back in an hour. Bye.
But, boy, she sure was in a hurry. Well, come in.
It's me, Mr. McGee.
Oh, hi, Wimp.
I dropped by to return the book I borrowed last week while I was staying with you.
Oh, well, I'm glad you did, Wimp. I've been looking all over town for you. I called your house 6 times this morning.
I know. I heard the phone ring.
Well, why didn't someone answer it?
Well, Sweetie Face couldn't because she was out.
Mm-hmm.
I overslept, and she was having her breakfast at the corner drugstore.
Well, what about you?
Oh, I was locked in the closet, Mr. McGee. My, your Christmas tree is lovely.
Yeah. Look, Wimp, you probably heard about how I'm going to do my old vaudeville act at the Elks Club New Year's Eve party tomorrow night. I guess everybody's talking about it.
Oh, indeed they are, Mr. McGee. But don't you care. You do it anyway. It's a free country.
Betcha.
Are you really going to juggle Indian clubs?
Sure.
While sitting on the floor?
Yeah.
And play the piano at the same time with your nose?
Who said that?
Mr. Toops.
Ah, he's just sore because I wouldn't let him be in the act with me, that's all. You should have heard him beg and plead with me, Wimp. But I said, "I'm sorry, Mort. Get up off your knees, boy. You just ain't got what it takes."
My goodness.
To be a success in showbiz, Wimp, you gotta have charm, personality, and a certain savoir-faire. You know, brass.
No, I can imagine.
So that's why I've been waiting for you, my boy. You ever been in showbiz?
Me? Oh, why, goodness, no, I wouldn't know. Showbiz?
You got just the personality for my act, boy. All you need is the kind of expert coaching I can give you. We'll go out there tomorrow night and murder him.
My, that does sound exciting. What do I have to do?
All you gotta do is listen and do as you're told.
Oh, that's easy. I've been doing that all my married life.
Good. We'll go into rehearsal right now. I got all the props and everything right here. Molly will be back in an hour or so, and we can try out the act on her.
Ah, showbiz. I've always wanted
Now, look. Here's your funny hat and your baggy pants. You run in there and put them on. I'll get the record player set, and we'll put the music on. Here comes Molly, Wimp. Get set.
Oh, I'm so nervous, Mr. McGee. I don't think I can...
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. She's at the door. Okay, let's go.
It's me, McGee. I tell you, dearie, I've never been in all my life. Heavenly days, what's going on?
Hello, Meyer.
Hello, Schultz.
I hear you have a new baby at your house. Has he come this day?
I guess so. He has all his clothes off.
Oh, no.
Okay, Wimp, the cowboy hats now. I'm Tex and you're Slim. Well, I'll get my boxing gloves on. Now you start. I hear you got a job.
Oh, I remember. Here you got a job, Tex.
Yep, working on a ranch, Slim.
Working on a ranch, eh? What you doing with the boxing gloves?
I'm a cow puncher.
Oh.
Well, Molly, what do you think?
I think he's good. Of course, those pants don't fit him very well.
Well, they're not supposed to fit. They're supposed to be baggy, for laughs.
Oh, but yours fit.
Well, I can let him out by tomorrow night. I guess I was a little thinner back in them days when me and old Fred played the Palace.
Oh, my. Did you and Mr. Nittany actually play the Palace Theater, Mr. McGee? It must have been a thrill.
I'll never forget it, Wimp. The place was jammed. Everybody in town was there. Them rickshaws were lined up for 3 blocks.
Rickshaws? In New York?
This was the Palace Theater in Hong Kong. Our agent, Charlie Hugo, forgot to read the fine print. We played on the same bill with Charlie Foo and his All Geisha Orchestra.
Great band, real crazy.
You should have heard them gals play Dardanella. Something you'd never forget. Believe me, I've tried. Well, Wimp, you done pretty good with the jokes.
Oh, thank you, Mr. McGee. I've always wanted to be in showbiz.
Ah, yes, showbiz.
Now, the next thing, Wimp, every class act like mine has to have a little tap number in it. You know, like a little dancing to keep things moving.
Moving?
There's an old saying in vaudeville, Mr. Wimple, keep the show moving. That's because a moving target is harder to hit. If you told one of those jokes and just stood there...
No, that's not it at all, Molly.
It figures.
I took a correspondence course in how to be popular one time, and there was a little tap dancing in it. I don't
If
remember.
you just know a few basic steps, boy, I can teach you. You get that record of T for Two out, will you, Molly? That's the tune I and Fred Nittany introduced, you know. And since then, every guy that's trying to prove he hasn't got two left feet does a tap routine to that number.
Here's the record, dearie. I'll put it on.
I'll pull the rug back for you, Mr. McGee.
Swell. Now watch this close, Wimp. I'll show you.
Now, you be careful, dearie. That was 20 years ago, you know.
I'm just warming up, kiddo. When I get going here, whoops!
Careful, Mr. McGee.
What's the Christmas tree?
Just slipped a little. Floor is slippery. You see, Wimp? And right along in here, we used to do a break. Pretty tricky.
That was pretty good.
That's just a sample of what I mean, Wimp. Right in there where I quit, I used to always do a break, see? He's trying to teach that to amateur. Too tough.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, go ahead and try it now. You don't have to be as fancy as I was, just enough to give me an idea. Okay, Molly, play the record again.
I'll surely try hard. I'd love to join your act and be in showbiz.
Hey, that's pretty good, Wimp.
My, isn't he graceful?
I'm a little out of practice, but it's coming back to me now.
Oh, goodness, McGee, look at that.
Yeah,
Heavenly days on one foot.
yeah, showing off now.
Just look at those spins. Why, he's fantastic.
Well, that gives me an idea of what you can do, Wimp.
You were just wonderful, Mr. Wimple.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. McGee. Did I make it, Mr. McGee? May I be in your act?
Well, I'll think it over, Wimp. There's a lot of things to consider. Dancing ain't everything, of course. The jokes...
He told the jokes beautifully. I thought he was very funny.
Well, there's more to it than that, of course. A good act needs a good contrast.
Contrast?
Yeah, you know, I and Wimp, we're built a lot alike. Ought to have one fat guy and one skinny guy, maybe, like Abbott and Costello, for instance.
Oh, I'd love to be in it. Showbiz has always
Well,
been
I'll
my...
let you know, Wallace. I probably ought to give Doc Gamble a chance at it first, you know, to be fair. I'll let you know, though, Wimp. Yeah, I'll let you know. Don't call us, we'll call you. Of course, Doc can't dance and probably can't tell jokes, but with my talent, he'll make a good contrast, and with the right coach.
Did you talk to Dr. Gamble, McGee?
Just on the phone, Molly. He was real excited about it. I'm going over in the morning and show him the act.
That won't be a bit too soon to get yourself a partner. The show's tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you run on up to bed, Tootsie. I'm going to read through these jokes again.
All right. But now, if you wake me up in the middle of the night like you did last night with white as a chicken cross the road, this chicken is going to cross the road to Maple Toopses for the night.
I won't. Good night.
Good night, all.
NBC has brought you the Fibber McGee and Molly program, transcribed with Bill Thompson as Wallace Wimple. This is John Wald inviting you to be with us again tomorrow night for another visit with Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, it's so much fun hearing from Fibber McGee and Molly and realizing that even in 1953, Fibber was doing his jokes about how life was in the 19-teens and the 1920s. I love that couple a lot. Fibber McGee and Molly were early runners for my most favorite comedy classic, even before I heard the 15-minute shows. I think, like a lot of these, the 15-minute shows were a lot more fun than the half hours, especially the half hours when you put in all the music that was really irrelevant. And the quarter-hour shows helped the act continue, at least through 1956, because Molly's health was starting to fail, and the stress of a weekly radio show live before a studio audience was really getting rough on her. And she really performed well in these quarter-hour shows that were recorded in the Jordan's household, Jim and Marion Jordan's household. Okay, Fibber McGee and Molly, December 30th, 1953, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank this station, support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. Miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available at the webpage, classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. Stream our shows. There's a list of places where you can download our shows by podcast. You can build a classic radio collection of your own. You can find our social media links there, the Twitter and the Book of Faces. You can also, and those always have the links of shows as they're released, so you can download them that way. And you can also contact me. And if you enjoy what we do and would like to see our shows go on and on and on, acquiring additional classic radio programs and keep our distribution channels up and running, you can buy me a coffee. That's all at classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream. Thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.